Alright, what is up, losers? Welcome to episode 1 of GalexT to Plat 4. I'm going to be watching one of my boys' games today. Right here I just pulled up his op.gg, so I'm just going to go over this thing real quick while I'm waiting for the spectator delay to go through. Alright, so let's see. Let's see. Alright, so first thing, 46% win rate overall, bronze 2. Alright, now let's take a look at ranked previous history. Alright, so I see a bunch of thresh. Let's see how you're building them. So aftershock, which means you need to be aggressive. Bone plating, which is fine if you're trying to be aggressive because you're going to be taking more poke. Second wind, that's fine because you're going to be eating a lot of brand harass. Then revitalize, not too good because you're going to be in a lot of shields. I would take probably overgrowth in this situation. Then you're taking sorcery in this game for some reason. You don't really need to take sorcery as thresh if you do want to take it. The only things you really want to take out of it is like water walking and celerity, just so you could trade well in lane or be able to roam more. You don't really need mana flow ban because when you're playing a champion that relies on like 1 or 2 engages, let me just click spectate game so it will get me in the loading. Okay, there we go. He's actually playing Ashe. Okay, so we'll be going over ADC gameplay. But that's fine. Anyway, let's try to do this a bit faster. Yeah, you don't need mana flow ban because you're not going to be losing games because you run out of mana. You're going to be losing games because you're in the wrong position, or you hooked the wrong target, or you walked up at the wrong time. It's never going to be because you're too low and, oh, I really need this mana so I can hook 2 or 3 more people. That's never going to be the case. Transcendence CDR, once again, not really important. You're not going to be throwing 10 hooks a minute. It really relies on that one hook that you get and what you do with it. So no point for Transcendence. I see Q max on Thresh. That's fine. You might want to get a few more points in E early just for the laning phase, but Q max in general is really good. And what are you building here? So I don't really know what you're trying to build this into, but you don't need to get Tabby unless the bot lane's like completely auto attack dependent and Brand is not. And then you kind of want to get like boots of mobility so that you can roam around the map faster, but that's just me. Coin is good, so you don't focus on the last hitting, but just your role in the game, so that's fine. Overall, I see you play a lot of champs on your op.gg, so what I would normally tell a student is just like play less champs and get better at the ones that you do play, so that you'll climb faster. And you also play some difficult champs, like Thresh, Lee Sin, Blitzcrank. Those are considered like difficult champs. So I would always tell someone like play something that's simpler so that you could focus more on the game than the champion. Because there are 3 things you want to pay attention to. There's what your champion does, what the enemy champion does, and then the game. If you're playing someone tough like Thresh, you're going to be worrying about like who you're hooking, when you're hooking, how you're flaying, your combos. You're not going to be paying attention to ward timers, where people are at, where's vision, how do I need to play this game, etc. So if you played someone easy, like a Janna or a Lulu, then you'd be able to win more games effectively. Anyway, I'm gonna get this visual out of the way, because... How do I get rid of this? Remove. Yes. Okay. And let me move my picture down here. But my boy GalexT is on Ashe. And let's see what his team is composed of. So I assume Renekton top, Jace... Let me close this again. Okay, I assume Renekton top, Jace mid, Morgana support. And then on the other team they have an Ashe, sorry, not Ashe, a Soraka, and a Vayne. Excuse me, I've been drinking too much soda today. Alright, so Mundo mid, That's not too normal, but it's probably not too bad into Jace, because you can get a good bit of health back, especially with a grasp. Yorick Jungle, that's also not too good. No reason to really run that. And then Quintop. Quintop's probably going to be bullying the Renekton. But if I'm Alex in this game right now, what I'm thinking is what I want to take care of, because this is really the only thing you can control. You're against a Soraka Vayne lane. They will outscale you in the late game, not to mention that Soraka took exhaust, so they're waiting more for team fights, while you guys have the more aggressive runes and summoners. So press the attack on Ashe, and then Comet on Morgana. So you really want to try to like make plays early. I would even recommend maxing your volley. I'm not sure if that's, I think that's your W. So you want to max that, and then since you're not really at a threat for ganks from Yorick, don't put a point into your E until level 4. If you're against someone aggressive, let me focus on Alex. Okay, there we are. If you're against an aggressive jungler, like a Kha'Zix, or think someone that ganks early game, Lee Sin, really involved junglers, Elise, etc., then you might want to put a point into Hawkshot like second, but Yorick, he doesn't really have any gank assist. He's going to be clearing camp slowly since he's not designed to jungle, so you don't really need to put a point into E. Just make sure you ward safely. You want to be shoving in this lane. Try to make life hell for the Vayne and Soraka. So just make sure you have Morgana or you ward. Your jungler is Graves. What Graves wants to do is power farm. So just let him do that. Don't go for risky plays. Just try to poke them out and let Graves power farm, because he won't be trying to help you in the early game. Alright, let's see what you're going to do here. Alright, so a few problems right here. When you're leashing, don't ever leash it to this low. Let me also change the vision so that it's just blue. Okay, don't ever leash this low, because the jungler has time to like take his own camps. Leash it to like 400 or 500 at best. 600 or 700 if you're a dick, but whatever. Don't leash it that low, and when you're leashing, path this way. I guess you can't see where I'm pointing, but where my cursor is, path towards this way as you leash. You were over here auto-attacking. Just start over here and then path down. You just want to kind of get to lane as soon as possible and get priority quickly, since that's pretty much what you want to do as a laner. You want to get priority in your lane early. Decide the way that it's going to go. Since you guys want to shove, get there before they can get some auto attacks on the wave. Soraka can actually push a wave pretty well, so if they were any good, they should have countered your push by now, but let's keep going. Why does it keep going off at Alex? Alright. Volley start is fine. Like I said, you want to kind of max volley. Good. Don't overcommit here. Okay. A few things happen there. First thing, your volley that you fired off at the very beginning, it didn't hit anyone. You just tried to do it to get CS. If you were in the lane at the right time, you wouldn't have to do that, and you would CS better. Also, you are kind of screwed with mana on Ashe if you're maxing W, so you want to make sure they're hitting their mark on the Vayne. Second thing, you don't need to follow up on CC. So if you see a Thresh or a Lee Sin or whatever, go for a play or a hook. You don't need to follow them when they make it. You just need to realize when it's a bad decision. And right here, see if I can go back a little bit. Okay, boom. You see that binding lands, and you should be thinking, okay, they have 2 minions here and the waves are crashing, so if I go for any sort of trade here, it's gonna hurt. So don't go in for it. Then boom. You take 2 autos and a bit of minion aggro, and all of a sudden you're not winning the lane you should be. Alright, nice. Your laner got first blood. What were your starting items? You took D-Blade. That's fine since you're aggressive. Let me turn down the music. There we go. That was a miss. Unlucky. Good. That's a good trade. Alright. You need to realize when you need to back up. So you get your 2 autos, and then when you know that they can respond to it, you need to back out. You stayed too late there, and you could have taken some bad return poke. Do you have a trinket, by the way? How do I find that out? Alright, I assume this means on cooldown, so you want to be trinketing right about now. Generally, the amount of time it takes a regular jungler to take the camps and gank a lane is 225. So 255 for someone who's not designed for jungle is pretty standard, I'd say. So you definitely want to have warded over here by this point. And what you want to be watching for is your laner's motions to see if they step up randomly, because that will show that the enemy's on their way. That ward should have been there before him. And in this lane, you really need to watch out for Soraka poke, because that heals him right back up. You guys will get out sustained. And your CSing could be better. For that, just get into a practice tool. You just need to spam. You have like 50 rank games this season. You definitely need to play more to farm better. That or just go into practice tool and spam minion waves. And do it early game too. Just do the first 10 minutes and stuff. So there's no reason to be last inning right here. Since you guys are the aggressive lane, you need to be shoving up on them constantly. Look at his health. If you can force him to back, then he's going to miss all the CS that gets pushed into tower. You can't just try to last it, because you will get outscaled. Not to mention that all of your damage is going to be AD. They have mixed damage. Unless Mundo goes AD for some dumbass reason. And right here you should be thinking, okay, what item do I want to back at? How do I change views? Can't tell. But there's an item that you want to try to be backing at. So for you, I assume any ADC wants 1300. So that's one I want you to think about backing. So you want to conserve your mana kind of accordingly. Alright, and right there you could have been trading lots of autos. Your positioning's kind of awkward. So here you want to ping your support to shove the wave. Because with the damage that they took, that they sustained from you guys, they need to back. If they don't, you kill them. So you just need to shove this as quick as possible and deny them golden XP. Alright, how much gold did you back on? Caulfield. I mean, it's not the worst buy, but you want to kind of wait for 1300. It's not bad in Ash's case because you should be spamming W. Okay, good, you're maxing. So you should be spamming W, so the CDR is not terrible. And this is where Ashe is different from Thresh. With Thresh, you don't want to hook until there's a good opportunity. With Ashe, you kind of want to take every chance you can just to poke at them. Because in Ashe's case, you're doing it for damage, not for CC. In Thresh's case, you're doing it for the crowd control, not for the damage on his Q. This way you don't build Thresh AD, but you build Ashe AD, you know what I mean? Alright, so you see Yorick there. See what people are building, and how lanes are doing. Top's not getting as boned as I thought. And your jungler's doing okay. Another thing, you need to play with your cooldowns. You see Morgana miss his Q. If they aggress on you, what's going to stop them from killing you guys? You need to see that he misses his Q, and then back up. Wait the time until it comes back. For Morgana, it's probably like 9-10 seconds early game. So you just need to wait and play with those cooldowns. If you have a Thresh supporting you, same thing. If he throws a hook and misses, you back up. Because that means that they now have priority in the lane. And right here, see, he was able to aggress on you. Good. And he got a decent trade on you because of it. It's not a bad idea. See, that's another thing that practice would help with, canceling autos. I mean, sure, it happens to everyone eventually, but it'll happen a lot less if you just practice it more. Ooh. Once again, practicing just getting those sieges. Alright, you saw him a lot earlier, you should have backed up faster. They have level advantage on you as well as the jungler. You should be backing faster there. And with that, I always used to tell the students that I had to like tape a picture of a babe in your bottom right hand corner so that you're like constantly looking at her. And then you can see the minimap more. That was aggressive. It worked out, but that doesn't mean it was a good idea. Use your ult to get the... Alright, I guess. Use your ultimate to get the CC, and then just walk up to them. No need to flash. As an ADC, save your flash for if you need to flash to get a kill, or to get away. Or otherwise, to get away. Right there, you definitely could have killed him without flashing. Alright, you got his flash, shove this wave. Alright, you need to be shoving that wave. Yeah. You just need to get into the habit of shoving waves. What do you buy here? I assume you're going for Essence Reaver. Yep. I haven't seen you get any health pots or pink wards. If you see that your support isn't getting any pink wards, you need to get them. It's usually good to get the pink wards anyway, but especially if you see that your support isn't. It's okay to delay like a major item like a BF sword, but you need the vision. Because it's all kind of a process. I mean, you need to get used to using wards, and then once you start using them, you need to get used to like looking for vision. Because in the grand scheme of things, do you think that if you gave a bronze player, like just pick a random bronze player, and give him 10 more AD, like starting AD, than any other player, and you just gave him that, do you think he'd magically make it out of bronze? No. Because it's not because of the extra damage, it's because of like the dumb mistakes that he does, and the vision's just going to help patch up all your problems. Because even though you may be playing well, it is bronze in the end, so all of your basics can kind of use a lot of patching up. And I don't even play ADC, but I mean, this is just like basic stuff that anyone would say. I would look for that a lot earlier. Definitely look for that a lot earlier. Don't use it as a finisher, but just to CC them. And yeah, here you should be able to get the tower because you see Yorick on the map topside. And Vayne can't do anything to you guys. If the Morgana was good, he would dive him and get away with it, but just get the tower, worst case scenario. Alright, now what you want to do is shove this wave and recall and go topside. And this is just one of the really basic rotations. When you have a lead, you want to extend it and start the snowball, which is really important in solo queue. So since you guys have a good lead on your laners, you want to transition this lead topside and get this tower, and then try to get vision all over the place. Since this dragon isn't going to help you win this game as much as extending your gold lead early, I would just rotate top. Even though you're still going to be going to like a different lane, or you should be going to a different lane with your support, lane phase is technically over at this point. So you no longer want to like back on a certain amount of gold or anything like that. You kind of want to play the rotation game more than anything. Alright. So once again, you may not like think that that arrow was bad or anything like that, but just because something works doesn't mean it was like meant to be. So say that like somebody bought a lottery ticket, right? And then they scratched off and got hit with the brick and they somehow won. Just because they got hit with the brick doesn't mean they won. It was just kind of a coincidence. So don't think that like that arrow hitting and you getting the kill was like linked. That's not good. Say you fire 100 arrows and you hit let's say 60 of them. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, say you have good accuracy. Even if you hit 60 of those arrows, in those 40 times you don't, there's a good chance he walks away because you missed one of your major forms of CC on him. That if you just let your team CC first with Morgana's ultimate, which is guaranteed crowd control without needing a skill shot, you would kill him more times than not. And you do this a few times, where you just like fire ults half map and stuff like that. Don't ever do that just because it's kind of a waste. You want to save your ult just for like threatening dives or for saving yourself, because it's more important to stay alive than to get a kill, as an ADC especially. But whatever, you got the kill, that's not bad. Now you want to shove mid to get this tower. I don't think you get it. Maybe you do, there's a minion there. Alright. So you're out of mana, you haven't backed in a while, you really want to look to recall now. Alright, this is what we call overstaying. Even if you guys now get caught and somehow you live, this is still on you if they all int. And the reason for that is it's called baiting. You're baiting your team with your presence. By being there, you're kind of telling them like, alright, I can still fight, let's get objectives, let's like stay here. You need to back right here. You don't have mana, you need to buy, you need to go top lane, because there's no way you're getting this mid tower right now anyway, unless they're actually retarded. But let's see how this plays out anyway. So all you do is waste a bit of time. And it's not worth your time to get a bit of tower damage. You need to go on to the next objective, which is topside. Because as a solo queue player, even if you had like the better scaling team, the power will be out of your hands if you get to later game. Because then everyone has items already. When you have a lead now, you have more of a say as to what direction the game takes as of late game, where everyone has pretty much the same, how do I say it? chance to influence the game, I guess. So even if you scale, you want to try to win early. So right here, where do you go? Don't tell me you go bottom. Mid, that's still not good. Alright, so what a lot of people do is they get baited by the farm. Right here you see that big fat wave bot lane, that thick wave, and you just want to like cop that, but you really shouldn't. You should be going top to get the next objective. The Renekton should be splitting bot side, or the Jace should be splitting. And now the Renekton makes a dumb TP because he's bronze, but I mean, that's whatever. You see 5 of them on the map, so there's no point to throw that. You really kind of want to save those charges, and this is kind of a dumb spot to be too. It's okay to do this if you're a jungler, and I guess maybe that's why you do it, but... He's dead. Alright, go mid. Get the tower. That flash was okay, since you needed to flash to get the CC onto him. That one I'm okay with. So you can get 2 towers with this rift. You need to help push this wave. You're not going to kill them because they're not going to go on to 5 of you guys. At least they shouldn't. So you just want to push the wave and get this tower quickly so you can get out. If you stay for this inhib, you're trolling. Alright. So right there. Alright, so the tower did fall anyway. But it was really close to not falling. You really just need to prioritize this. Like, poke onto these guys isn't going to do anything if you take like 30% health off of them. If you get this tower here, that's huge. And now you have no mana again. And still on the map. What's your score look like? 0-6, okay. Alright. And this is just kind of another analogy I thought of. But I think you like Ashe because of the skill shot that it provides on the ult. But that's kind of like why a lot of people like Zed and Yasuo, because of the outplay potential and how cool it looks. That's why there are so many like Zed and Yasuo players stuck in low elo, because they're too obsessed with like this one thing that a champion does that they can't get over in Incline. For Yasuos and stuff like that, it's they want to make the cool 1v4 outplays, and they just end up inting all their games away. In your case, you just, in this game, you've been accurate with your ults, which I'd say, good job, good for you. But that's kind of the thing that I think you need to hop over. If you want to win more games, you need to focus more on just doing what needs to be done and what has the highest chance of success, not the thing that'll look the coolest. And once again, you're kind of overstaying at this point. Your support isn't with you, you're half health, you have no mana, you need to buy. See right here? Just let him die. Alright, and even though this just happened now for the first time, this could have happened several times beforehand if you were in a high elo game. Like if I place you in a, even like, let's go to gold, a few divisions up, you might already lose this game off of some of the decisions that you made, and that's just like a few tiers up. Oh, you're dead, so I won't show anything. Alright, what do you buy? Alright, so it looks like you're getting a Zeal item. This guy's just trolling. He also has the 1v5 dream. But that's another situation where your presence baited your team into getting killed. And I'm just kind of giving you like all the information I can see, so hopefully some of it will stick and you can climb. I don't mean it to be rude or offensive or anything like that. I just want my boy to like get to gold 3 and then to plat 4, the dream. And when you are low elo, it's normally like the most obvious things that keep you there. So you really just need like someone to point them out. Wait for that to stick. Anyway, what's next on the map? So you have an infernal. Alright. So you see these 3 here, and you choose to run into a 3v3 instead of just peeling back 3 people onto this guy who's overextended. This here has like a 90% chance of working. Mundo's probably not going to get away from 3 people. Here, you guys are engaging into a 3v3, which you probably didn't have enough time to gauge if you win. There's a healing support, there's a fed jungler, and there's Vin. And you guys have Graves, Ashe, and Jace. This guy being so fed might just tilt the fight, and then have them survive long enough for Mundo to get here. I hope you guys feel that. Alright, now you guys are kind of caught. Alright, you get away with it, but you shouldn't. You should just die there. So there are a lot of situations where you get away with things, and that's just pretty lucky. That was another long-range Ashe ult you didn't need to fire. Glad you hit it, but didn't need to be fired. Alright, right here, why would he go mid? You just got the free dragon. Oh, I guess it's not infernal, it's a cloud. But anyway, you just got the free dragon by killing their mid. You got priority, you got vision, you can take this for free. Why would you go mid when they still have 4 people up and they probably won't just let you walk in and take an inhib? You don't want to take the riskier play, you always want to take the safer play. And in this case, the safer play is the dragon. But, let's see how this goes. Alright, you guys have numbers now because I sent 2 bot. So this is fine. Alright, so now, once again, no reason to shove this wave in. People are respawning. You just want to go to dragon, take what's free. I mean, why are you even saying? Just like ping back and stuff like that? I don't know if that was your ping, that person that just pinged that, but good job. So yeah, now you just get this free dragon. And 2 Cloud Drakes stack pretty well. I wish I could tell if that was you ping. Alright, this is just like a mechanical thing. You lived right here, for now, at least, but just flash over this wall. So much safer. Then he has to go around this way. If you just flash here, he just needs to keep running at you. And he has his ult, which makes him go faster, so... Alright, so once again, you got lucky, but not off of the right play. So you're still looking for a fight, a lot of kills so far. You just need to take what's free, take the dragon. Ping your team a lot. Just like spam ping them. If you're doing well, they'll follow you. Most of the time. You don't even need to carry. Just like focus. How much gold do you have? Alright, you haven't backed in a while, so you want to back again. You don't have anyone on the map who can help you get an objective, so just reset. Sometimes the most proactive thing you can do is backing. Alright, now you die. Yeah, so you didn't have numbers, and you used your ultimate aggressively again, which made you die. Save your ultimate for defense, especially on ADC. You're probably the most important player in the game as the ADC, so you need to make sure you stay alive. If the ADC is alive, you can take down towers, you can take down objectives. You really need them to be alive for plays. What do you buy? I'm guessing runes. Yeah, that's fine. I would actually, you still haven't picked up any wards, which is kind of annoying. You should definitely do that. But you should get a Vamp Sept, since these fights are so random. Get Vamp Sept just so you have some lifesteal to survive fights longer. None of them are going to be smart enough to get like Grievous Wounds anyway. Let me see, any of them? No Thornmail, even though you are Nectin. That guy got a Thornmail, but he doesn't need it. Actually, he can use it. Good night.
Good night.
Alright, so I'm going to be a bit quieter, but let's see. A Blade of the Rune King wouldn't be bad here either, since you have a Mundo and a York coming at your face, and those are going to be the people you're mainly attacking. Don't fire the Ashura. Don't fire it. Don't fire it. Please don't fire it. Don't snipe him. Don't snipe him. Alright. Good job. I'm not using your ult. Alright, this here is fine. Oh. This here doesn't look too good though. That looks really bad. Alright, let's see what happens. Alright, so now you're entering the stage of the game where one person getting caught out in a certain situation can completely thrive, which I'm guessing probably happened looking at the gold graph. But that doesn't just mean you getting caught out, that means someone else getting caught out. So right here, you see Graves. When the whole team's is pushing, he's counter jungling for like 10 gold when you could just get the tower and then end the game. Pretty simple, right? Anyway, when you see he's doing that, you need to not be where you are right now. You're pushing, and then you're going to see Graves get caught, and you're going to think, ah, what an idiot, he wasn't with the team. Or you guys will get gunned down and think, oh, this Graves is retarded. But right here, this is something that you need to adapt to. When you see a player being bad like Graves right now, you need to back up. So like, spam ping your ping away, or your team away, and spam ping like the Graves do. Look at the numbers right now. 3 versus 1, 2, and then we know 3 others are right here in the base. So it's essentially 3v5, and look at the kills. You guys aren't exactly up. Look at the ones that are with you. You're pretty much a support at this point, an actual support. And then Jace, who's borderline going even against their entire team. I wouldn't be surprised at all if you guys all died. Yeah, and see, they're paying onto Baron. If they were smart, they would do it, but it's another thing where you could lose automatically off of that play. I'm actually going to kind of two-speed this thing right now. Because right now, we're getting to the point where it isn't tiny mistakes they're making, but like mistakes on the minimap right here. That's why you may see my eyes glued here more than up here. I don't care about your individual play or your mechanics. I care more about your decision making because that's what's keeping you stuck. Alright, you don't have vision of this. There's someone who can come at you really quickly. CC on him. CC on him. He can be invis and stun you into a wall. And you don't see any of this apart from him. So you shouldn't be this close to here. Just let the wave crash to you. Alright, you see Vayne and Mundo. Now it's pretty safe to go there. Alright, let's go back to your champ. Alright, get the free pick. No, why? So this right here actually makes me want to throw up, homie. This guy's free. Secure him. It's good Jace got him, but just get this free kill. I don't know if you saw and think, okay, I think he has him. Let's go for this guy instead. Just make sure you get him, because that can turn into Baron Vision and potentially Baron, instead of missing an Ash Arrow and maybe it's away. Let's see. Why do I start again? Alright, he got him good. Don't use cross-math Ash Arrows at all. Alright, so you went bot lane when Baron is up. Bad idea number one. Number two, they're all alive and your mid laner's dead. And Renekton, now he's full health, but he wasn't before. You definitely want to just stay in this area. This bit of gold isn't going to make the difference. If they take the Baron right now, that 200 gold you got is not going to change the game. And they get mid off of you being there. Just your presence might have stopped them from getting your tower. So even though your KDA actually looks pretty good, looks like your top and mid are inting, it's your decisions that could change this game. Hold up, hold up, hold up. Alright, let's go a bit in depth onto this team fight. A bit more back. Alright, what happened here, what happened here? Alright, good, you got the blue trinket. You have blue trinket, don't step into any of these bushes. Don't go over that. You can't see any of them. Just run, just run. As an ADC, your one job is to stay alive, like we talked about earlier, so don't even think about this here. You can see here that Graves has a tendency to ignore the rest of the team. Just follow Graves then. It's better that 5 people do the wrong decision than one person does the right decision. Alright, and it sounds like I might be being a bit... What's the word I'm looking for? What's the name word? Hypocritical. Because I said earlier that you're just baiting them by being there. And that was a bad decision, so I don't mean a bad decision, I mean a worse decision than the best one. It still needs to be a good decision. If it's a straight up bad decision, don't do it. But just like walking around together in the jungle isn't gonna get you, like, isn't gonna lose you a game, so that's fine, as opposed to baiting your team into something. Alright, I assume you get red buff. You don't get red buff. You have 141 CS, you should have like 360 at this point. And that doesn't only have to do with your like CSing abilities, but also where you are on the map at what time. You didn't even check for red buff. You need to take that. I mean, that Ash arrow isn't terrible since you couldn't get to the fight, but the reason you couldn't get to the fight is because you chose to randomly take some farm topside. And now you guys lose the fight as a result. You can't be walking forward here, you need to walk backwards. You need to peel backwards towards safety. Let me go back to 2 speed. Well, you wanna live for a while? Yeah, see how long death timers are at this point? So even if you do well, just being in the wrong place late game, and you just lose off that. Alright, and what's your build? You're going for a Last Whisper. I mean, that's fine. They have a bit of armor. Really think you should pick up some armor at this point, though. And at this point, the control words aren't really making a difference. You need the control words when you're ahead, because when you're behind, you can't use control words as an ABC because you'll just get popped from going too close to where you're getting vision. Oh, the game's no longer moving, so I guess you won or lost. You need to heal your teammates too. Which item did you get? Alright, so you're going for the wrong item. They have healing in Mundo and Yorick and Soraka. You really need the Executioner's one. That's just kind of common sense. That's a decision you need to always be able to make. I mean, just looking at the game so far, it seems like mechanically you're fine. You're hitting all these like random long-range Ice arrows. You're getting good trades in lane, stuff like that. But it seems like just the decision making's kind of lackluster. And I think you're kind of getting drawn in by like the bronze-silver teammate environment. But you need to just kind of ignore them. Just think like that you're way above them and that they're dog shit. And just come up with your own decisions and stuff. You don't need to have a herd mentality, necessarily. And don't worry about getting flamed either, just mute them. Or flame them, I don't really care. I would flame them. Alright, and in this situation, once again, nice arrow. But it's fine to shoot this arrow because no one else can offer CC for you. The only thing you could potentially do better there is wait for Jace to slow them with his melee form, and then shoot the ult where they're least likely to dodge it. Oops. You can't be farming that stuff when your base is in shambles. And you need to be off the map when you're this low health. You're getting one shot right now, you need some armor. What's your items again? Alright, so at this point you kind of want to switch your Berserkers to Ninja Tabby, ideally, but that's kind of not gold efficient, so you just want to get like plain old armor at this point, because you're getting one shot pretty much every fight. Like, I go from one scene and then to the other and you aren't in it. It doesn't matter if you do like 50 or 40 damage, you're going to be doing 0 when you're dead, so just like get any sort of armor just to survive that burst, and at least give you a chance to escape. Like, you didn't even pop your heal there because you got one shot. Just get some armor so that you can counterplay. So people who play like tank Vigar actually climb pretty easily. Because Vigar does enough damage on his own that you just need to stay alive. And you surrendered. Alright, let's do a recap. Let me go to the start so I can try to remember everything. Alright, so at the start we said how we want to play this is win the lane, win the game. Be your lane with the picks that you have, transitioning into topside. You were able to win your lane, and there were a few things in the laning that I picked up on that you should try fixing. Mainly get vision earlier. When you're getting items early, get pink wards. They're more important than items. And then learning to like trade correctly is going to be another big one, but that'll come with time. Learning to CS well is going to be another one. Mostly it's just the basics that you need to fix for early game. Right. Okay, so that would be early game. You got the tower. You got mid, which was pretty good. Okay, next point that I can think of. Go for the safer play. You go for a lot of like risky situations. It's like you have a thirst for blood or something like that. You just need to win the game. So when you see someone straggling behind, get them before you go for another fight. And if you have a lead, don't blow it by doing like 50-50 team fights. Just get what you can and then get away with it. Like, there were times where you could get a pick on Mundo here, pick on Mundo here, just get a dragon, just all this stuff that you could have gotten for free. Instead, you risked it with team fights, which eventually didn't pay off. Next big thing. Don't bait your teammates by being somewhere. If you're low mana, if you're low health, if you haven't bought for a while, back. Don't stay there. You can't get an objective, so best case scenario, you just waste your own time. Worst case scenario, they kill you and can get an objective off of that. And this happened several times. When you were mid, you just kind of wasted time. That was the best case scenario. When you guys were topside, you just pretty much got wiped, and they got good Baron control. Another thing, a bit of CS won't change the outcome of the game. Just make sure you stay grouped with your team. You don't need to worry about things like team comps or anything like that at the moment. You just need to know when you need to be somewhere at which time. Eventually you'll reach things like split push comps and stuff like that. You don't need to worry about that right now. You just need to worry about staying alive yourself. So don't go looking for random CS because then you lose objectives and stuff like that. What else was there? Oh, building. You need to learn to build more effectively. Every item that you have should be there for a purpose. Don't just go to recommended items and like buy. Let's see what your late game build was. There were a few problems with it. Alright, so late game build. You had the wrong Last Whisper item. You need the heal reducing one. Essence Reaver is fine. You should have tried backing on the 1300 whatever BF sword early game if you could have, but it was fine. Essence Reaver is good. Runeans is good. Try to get some lifesteal because these are some wonky fights and you aren't playing mechanically perfectly, so the lifesteal is going to help you stay alive. They aren't smart enough to get Grievous. Get armor. You were getting one shot in fights. Just make sure you can try to stay alive, so instead of putting out 0 damage, you put out like, I don't know, 600 or something. That may be the difference between killing someone on their team or not, or being able to stick around to contest an objective. Let's see what else there is. Alright, no more throwing whack Ashholds. That's kind of the biggest one. Like I was saying earlier, I'll just try to sum it up real quick. Like Yasuo players, they're too involved in their mechanics. They don't focus on what they need to be doing. Same thing with your Ashholds. You just throw them randomly, and then you don't have them for defense. There's a chance you miss, and you don't get the target altogether. Just wait for someone else to CC them, and if you need to, then you have really good mechanics, so you can have that to clutch on, but don't always clutch on it, because then it won't necessarily be clutch. It'll just be random ash arrows without any point. It's more like an ARAM at that point than a game on Summoner's Rift. This game's a lot more strategy than mechanics. If someone has like perfect mechanics, like say you gave a bronze player scripts, they might get to silver. Might. You give someone garbage mechanics and like the game knowledge of Faker or something like that, or Apto I should say, then it's going to be like a caster. They're going to hit like high diamond or masters, but playing brainless jungle champs or whatever, so they know what to do at the right time, so they just get higher. So focus less on mechanics, more on what you need to be doing, personally. Yes, your team was in, like, spots that they shouldn't be, and things like that, and that, yes, that's their fault, but it's your fault for not playing around that. If you see Graves farming somewhere, or you see someone getting caught, back up. If you see when your teammate's low, and you, like, encourage them that we can get this tower, they might stay too long and die, and then you guys will, as a result, do something greater than that. If I had to grade your performance, all in all, I would say B- for a bronze 2 player. Your mechanics are actually really good. I normally think of bronze players, they like play with their feet, so your mechanics are really good. Your laning was alright. You made a few mistakes, but for the most part, it seems like you understood who was in charge and like your ignite priority and stuff like that. Your rotations, I mean, obviously, I'm a high diamond player, so I know them a bit better than you, but you had like the right idea for the most part. Push when you can, and then when you can't, back up. Unfortunately, you don't know how to back up well enough yet, and you overstay. I want to say by accident, because it feels like you have the right idea in these fights. What else can I think of? I don't know, I think that's about it. I think if you just like focused on your decision making, I wouldn't even want you to practice CSing because you get the wrong idea that you need to like fix up your mechanics. Those are fine. Just think about your decision making. Watch one more of your replays and just like go for it yourself very slowly. At every point in the game, just think like, why am I here? Why am I doing this? What do I need to do, etc. You just need to think more. Just like have more thoughts per minute, and then as a result, once you get more of these thoughts, you'll be able to make correct decisions off of them. How far I think you can climb this season? Let's see. You're currently bronze 2, but your mechanics are pretty good. If you were just able to fix up your decision making and played simpler champs, I think you would be able to hit gold 5 if you just fixed up what I told you to fix up. And then once you hit there, you can work on other things to keep advancing. But just fixing up your decision making, you should be able to hit gold 5. Once again, sorry if any of it seemed harsh, but I just want to get you to climb. I heard you skipped soccer practice today to play some video games, so naughty Alex on that, and I don't know. Hope you were able to learn something from that. Let me exit out of this thing.